It was the day of Adobe's wedding, and the entire village had gathered in her father's compound. The atmosphere was a mixture of excitement and anxiety. Adobe had been dreaming of this day since she was a little girl, but little did she know her wedding would turn out to be a comedy of errors. It all began when her uncle, Chief Chukwuemeka, arrived with his wife. As usual, he was late, and when he finally made his grand entrance, he walked in with a small goat, claiming it was his wedding gift for Adobe. "This goat is a symbol of wealth," he declared loudly. The elders shook their heads and laughed. They had been expecting a more substantial gift, like an envelope of cash or a shiny fridge. But Chief Chukwuemeka was adamant. "Our people know value when they see it," he said, winking at the guests. Adobe's mother, Ngozi, who had been running around since the morning, approached her daughter frowning. "Adobe, I told you not to marry any man who doesn't have a good car. How can your husband-to-be be driving a dusty old keke napep?" she lamented. Adobe just rolled her eyes. "Mommy, please, we're just trying to build our lives." Then there was the issue of the food. The catering company had mistakenly sent jollof rice mixed with fried rice instead of serving them separately. And of course, the rice was overcooked. Guests were attempting to chew through it, some secretly slipping the rice under the table. "This food no go keep person," one guest whispered, eyeing her plate suspiciously. The traditional dancers were supposed to arrive at 3 p.m. sharp, but it was now 5 p.m. and they had yet to show up. Adobe's cousin Chijoke tried to keep the crowd entertained by doing a spontaneous dance to the latest Wizkid song, but when he tripped over his own feet and nearly fell into the cake, the laughter that erupted was contagious. To make matters worse, the priest, Father Okoro, who was to officiate the wedding, arrived late because he got caught up in the traffic due to a public protest in town. "Father, no worry, just say I do and we'll be fine," Adobe's father, who was growing more anxious by the minute, whispered to him. But the final drama came when Adobe's fiancé, Uche, arrived at the altar looking a bit flustered. He had gotten into an argument with his best man over who would hold the rings, and in the end, they both forgot them. "Uche, how now?" Adobe whispered, trying not to burst into laughter. Uche only shrugged, his face reddening. Thankfully, someone managed to find the rings just in time, and they were able to proceed with the vows. When it was all over, and Adobe and Uche were finally pronounced man and wife, the guests erupted in cheers. No one really cared that the goat's gift was still sitting there, or that the rice was suspiciously hard, or that the jollof didn't taste quite right. It had been a wedding full of wahala, but it was their wahala. As the couple took their first dance, Adobe leaned over to Uche and whispered, "Next time, no keke, no goats, and definitely no overcooked rice." Uche just laughed. "Next time, let's just elope." And with that, the wedding ended on a note of joyous chaos.